And speaking of I say being the way and what music that you like to teach and sing, music, gospel music. At this stage in time, Dr. Thedford, it ain't the same.
Oh, it's not the same. It's not the same. No, it's not.
I mean, it's again, and it's so funny because not only gospel music, but as far even with, like say, even with hip hop music, it's not what it started out being, and the purpose and point has been lost to me in this monetary game. Because like that, I've watched you watch choirs and people come in and sing songs that have 4 words
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like being in the classroom and why somebody put the fingernail down the chalkboard. You're like, you only got 4 words.
Yeah, I've had to be very tolerant of what's out there now, and I used to say to my friends, I say, "It's me. I'm getting old. It's me." And they say, "No, it's not you."
Oh, sir, it's not you. But I mean, what as far as like I said, my thought process is that it's all about the money now and not about reaching and making music that will touch somebody or help somebody. Because, like you said, you have in your catalog, you have songs that talk about if I'm down and out, when I was down and out, God came through. I mean, it's the way of writing songs then, in my opinion, were trying to help somebody understand that somebody else is going through it, and God brought them through. These songs now, some of them is just like, why did you write that?
Yeah, yeah. You know that it's it's the lyrics. The lyrics are there are no lyrics.
Right.
I'm saying it's the lyrics. There are no lyrics. And but the song actually should tell some kind of story.
Yes, sir. Okay.
It should tell some kind of story, or it should give some kind of message. It should leave you with um, a, a message of hope or redemption or a message of gratefulness. All of those adjectives that can describe what musically we need to say to this world that we live in now, and we really need all the help that we can in the world that we live in now, because it's different now more than ever. Yeah.
Now, and speaking about that, I talked to, like I said, I've talked to people. I've had Pastor Clark on before, on the show before. I've had a friend of mine named Wendell Brown, rest in peace, who passed away. He was on the show before, and I asked them about St. Louis. I'm gonna ask you the same question. How hard has it been for you to be who you are, and for people to actually embrace the greatness that you try to share in St. Louis? Did you have a struggle trying to find your footing in St. Louis?
St. Louis is a difficult place,
Okay.
and the not only is it a difficult place, but people that you think that's going to help you here in St. Louis, they're not so helpful. It's not so helpful, and actually, a lot of my work is the respect of my work is outside of St. Louis, and people seem to have a level of respect that is differently, and and generally, when you ask anybody from another city, they say, "You're from St. Louis." I said, "Do you know Dello Thedford?" And say, "Yeah, but it's not because of people here in St. Louis." But but my success in St. Louis has been primarily from my church families, and I have always had a great church. When I belonged to Progressive, that was a great church. When I belonged to the church in East St. Louis, John Rouse was pastor. That was a great church. And then that season, both of those seasons, and then it was never None of the churches has ever been like the church where I'm presently in. I've never been in this level of ministry. It's such a high level of ministry at the Shalom Church City of Peace. And boy, what an honor to be a part of that ministry for anybody that's a part of that ministry. Yeah.
Yes, and again, and that now, as far as being, like you just said, a part of the ministry and allowed to do certain things in the ministry, Dr. Clark, being that he came through singing as well, he has always had a love for music enhancing the worship.
Exactly.
Where some places music was it, because the preacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the fact of, I just need y'all to help me get the people ready for when I come through and we all say together. And I think that the way he shows his trust in allowing you to be you, because he understands the jewel that you are. Because Dello, you as well as I know, churches ain't singing hymns.
Oh no.
They ain't singing spirituals.
Yeah, well, these young musicians don't know hymns, nor spirituals, nor anthems. They know those 4-word songs.
Okay, let's go be our thing at church when I see you. I'm like, Dello, 4 words.
But I'm really fortunate, and excuse me, I wish many of the musicians around had an opportunity to work with a Pastor Clark, because I think that Pastor Clark has a lot to do with the level of I'm trying to see how to articulate this, that we just don't have mess. It is a high level of structure in our music program. That's probably the best way that I can say that. He requires that. I mean, I talk with ministers across the country about their ministers of music, and I say, well, there's one thing my pastor's not going to accept. It's a mess.
Right.
And so you're going to have structure, and you have to demand it.
Yes, sir.
That, from that, and people will do what you allow them to do. Yes, so even at this age, I am still, I still shiver when I said, "Oh Lord, is Pastor gonna be pleased?" But that's the level of respect that I have for him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I say, speaking of like I say, the students and stuff, Jermaine, I gotta find it. And I think in the interview I did with him, he talked about, and he tries his best to do a Dello Thedford impersonation. When he told about how you got him to realize that he could be an opera singer. He said, and it's funny because the way he tried to, he said, Dello was like, Jermaine, you can do better.
So, as I was saying, I was making fun, and Dello Thedford was like, "You have the potential to be an opera singer," and I was like, Nah. He said, "If I fight in a program, I'm going to put you in it." And so he put me in this program with Opera Theater St. Louis called Artists in Training.
And again, that goes to show, as far as the students that you've had, the love and compassion that you've shown them to help them realize that, again, we talking about Jermaine started off with the looks of someone who, hey, he gonna sing R&B, and you hear, oh, like, wait a minute, that ain't what we're expecting. And now with the dreads and all that, like, oh, he wanted reggae. And it's like, okay, that's different. And again, I really love the fact of you have had a way of helping people find their voice. Certain singers who came in when we did the first CD, there were people in the choir who could sing, but they really didn't trust their voice, or think that people like their voice, and you use them for songs and made them realize that they had a voice.
Yeah.
I mean, people like, and then even in the Christmas plays, with Carla singing, when Michelle was singing, I mean, Chris, Eric, and I tease them to this day. That's my favorite song. We're waiting, we're watching. Come Emmanuel. I was like, yo, he's singing. I mean, it's the fact that now, I mean, knowing and being a part of that kind of family, that's why I say I really appreciate the things that you've done, because you've helped music become a part of my children's life and me, as far as helping me, and then bringing the community together where we can laugh about certain songs people sing and how they sing it. I mean, that is what music should do. Music should unite and not divide. And somewhere along the lines, you have been blessed to pen that in songs. And I mean, again, I am truly grateful to be in the presence of saying, I know Dr. Dello Thedford.
Well, you're kind. You're kind.
So like I said, being in St. Louis, like you said, there was, what was the, because in all things, there's a major point where you just say, what was the major point that made you realize that it didn't matter what people here thought, you had a purpose and you were going to do it?
Well, you know, at an early age, I knew what I wanted to do. And I knew I wanted more than what was coming from my church. And again, it was a very small church, and I wanted to. I said, if I ever have the opportunity to be in charge, I would certainly show church people that we could have church and have structure in the music program. And that was not always accepted. People didn't necessarily like that, because structure requires discipline. And so discipline always seemed to have some resistance. But you asking at what age? I'm telling you, by my high school years, it didn't matter to me. I knew that whatever program I was going to be in, it was going to be something. I knew it. I wanted it to be something, and with the help of God, I've been able to make some achievements in that area. Yeah.
So as far as your first CD, record, or whatever that really went mainstream or hit, what was that?
Oh, probably. I think the piece that really did well was with the symphonic choirs. When I know it was the Blood, where Norman Owens was the soloist, and I think that really kind of broke the mold for us.
Okay. Out of now, so we move on, and when you sit down and you do the first CD for Shalom, that was a work, and to have Pastor Clark say we're gonna do 3. How did that make you feel before the first was even done? He said we're gonna do 3. What was the thought process going through your mind when he said that?
Well, the first one was I always knew that we had, and as you knew, that we had a remarkable choir, and a choir that the world needed to hear. But I did not expect the first CD, to have the level of excellence that came out of that CD, and such a variety of just good church sacred music, such a variety. And so when he said that, when he was happy about it and excited about it, well, that even made me more. And then to see it on Billboard and all of that, so, oh wow, yeah, yeah, that was exciting, and I was just happy to be a part.
Now, as far as, have you ever performed at the Stellars or anything like that?
No, I've not had that opportunity.
Okay.
Other than, the choir performing there.
Okay. And now, as far as I talked about it earlier with Malcolm Speed and Quincy Fielding, the ladies in gospel music, some way, somehow, always seem to be left out of the picture. Some way, like Dr. Mary Beth Gentry, and then also Dr. Anita Watkins. Why do you think that's still a thing that they just don't? I mean, it's almost like contemporary music where female composers, directors, and all that just don't seem to get the just due, or they just say it again.
Now, Anita Watkins is pretty well recognized. The piece that has given her worldwide recognition is "And He Blessed My Soul."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
That has really it has international claim to it, and it has done a lot for her in recognition. Now, Anita, speaking of Anita is the musical director for the Gospel Symphonic Choir. I'm the founder.
Okay.
But Anita Watkins is the musical director for that group. And so Anita is a late bloomer. She's a late bloomer in terms of the gospel world. Boy, but when she started blooming, it was quite a flower coming out, and yeah, she's still doing it.
Yeah.
She's still doing it. So, and Dr. Gentry, what a beautiful soul, and to be a part of anything that she does. She grew up in that convention, and now she is the president.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Of that convention. That says a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That says a lot.
Now, look, are those positions that you would take in?
Say that again.
Is that a position you would embrace and take in?
No, not at this age.
Dr. Thedford, I'm throwing some bombs. I know you're like, ain't no way, no, I'm good. I just told you, I've been in this for 53 years.
53 years, that's right.
And then that's the thing. That's another thing as far as me knowing you now. It's the fact of you don't put off like you said, you've been doing this now, and I've learned from you and from watching past and different stuff to where when you hit a certain age and a certain time frame in doing what you do and what you can do, as far as people really, ooh, you should be. No, I've done it already. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. What about? I'm good. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like you said, I don't know. There are still some out there who look for the spotlight and need the spotlight to live and shine and breathe.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I'm presently I am music director for the National Baptist Congress of Christian Education for the youth rally.
Okay.
And I have been trying to give up that position for the last 5 years. I am giving it up this year. I am, you hear it, I'm telling it on your show. I'm giving it up because what I feel is it's young people and the group of young. When I started with that organization at the convention each year, I had approximately 3,000 young people, and they were from the age of 14 up to 20. And that is indeed a youth, adolescent youth group. It's time for a young person to be director of that group. And I did it for over 35 years. And somebody gave me an opportunity back 35 years, and I need to give a young person an opportunity. And if people like me don't move out the way, it doesn't allow for young people to display their gifts, you know. So you hear it from me. This is it for me.
That's right. I heard it first. It was like, Dello has said he's stepping down.
Yes.
You ain't said that. I already knew that. Now, as far as like you said, your family come from a big family. Knowing your family, I just want to ask, who is the premier jokester out the bunch? Who is it? Who's the one, Dello?
Oh, you know, it's my brother Fred.
See there, Fred, I got you on the show. I gotta wait to get Dello and say, who is it? It's Fred. I say, and I mean, it's the fact of going through and meeting and knowing nephews and nieces and all. It's been a pleasure being a part, like, growing into a part of the Thedford family, because Dello, you know as well, and that's why I laugh about people when they talk about me as far as I look like I'm mad, or I'm like, no, I'm just here. I say, and with you, it was the fact of, that's Dr. Thedford. Hey, like, oh man, I wasted this time. Never mind, I'll keep it to myself. But underneath all that, I've been invited to one dinner and I missed it, and I heard that, ooh wee, you cook well too. Besides playing the piano and music, you cook well too, Dr. Thedford. So what is your favorite dish, Dr. Thedford? What's your favorite dish to prepare for the family?
Probably brisket.
Okay.
Probably brisket. Wow. Or turkey and dressing.
Well, I know I know your nephew's trying to do it with you, because T always having on to my Facebook. Yeah, I'm cooking brisket today. I'm doing. Yeah, your uncle taught you that. Go on up out here. You don't know what you're doing. Now, as far as music, what is Dello Thedford's favorite music?
What is my favorite music? Really, it's traditional church music. Traditional church music, and my second favorite would be classical music. But just the traditional church music is really my favorite music, and classical music would be my second. Yes.
And as far as, is there anybody past or present that you would love to write a song for?